Joseph's dream. We can find this episode from the Old Testament, Genesis chapter 37. Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field, when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." Then he had another dream and told it also to his brothers, saying that the sun and the moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me. In the meantime, Israel said to Joseph, "As you know, your brothers are grazing the flags near Shechem. Come, I am going to send you to them." "Very well," he replied. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the long robe with the sleeves that he wore, and they took him and threw him into the pit. The pit was empty, there was no water. Joseph was sold to the traders. Judah said to his brothers, "What will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood?" So, when the Midianite merchants came by, his brothers pulled out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to Ishmael, who took him to Egypt. Meanwhile, Midianites sold Joseph to Potiphar, one of the Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard. Prisoner's dream come true. Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. One night they both dreamed. The cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were confined in the prison, each his dream, and each dream had a meaning of its own. "Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position, and you will put Pharaoh's cup in his hand, just as you used to do when you were his cupbearer." When the chief baker saw Joseph had given a favorable interpretation, he said to Joseph, "I too had a dream. On my head were 3 baskets of bread. In the top basket were all kinds of baked goods for Pharaoh, but the birds were eating them out. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and have you impaled on a stake. The birds will be pecking the flesh from your body." He restored the chief cupbearer to his office so that he again handed the cup to Pharaoh. But the chief baker he impaled, just as Joseph had told them in his interpretation.